Alright, how's it going? This is Sam from thinkparticle.com, and in this two-part reel we're going to be talking about low poly character modeling, and then we're going to rig it and do a little bit of animation. Some really simple two keyframe things, but we will nonetheless animate. So go ahead and make sure our scene is set up. Holy crap, zoomed in. Maybe I'm not so zoomed in. We shall see though. Anyways, let's go ahead, and in the first part we're going to oh, I guess we weren't that zoomed in. We're going to model a low poly with a sphere, and then we are going to after that, in the second part, rig and animate it. So model and texture, failed to mention that part. And then so two, rig and animate it. So this is kind of off the wall sort of stuff, just what I've learned in the past week with modeling and with rigging and animating, but it should be decent. So here we go. Let's by making this sphere editable, getting rid of this the caps. Oh, don't get rid of the caps yet, actually. Let's select the top caps and hit E. Enable soft selection. 200 centimeters. Bring it up a little bit. I brought it up 50 centimeters. Set the soft selection 800 centimeters. Bring it up maybe 30. Okay. Soft selection off, and scale it down and bring it down. So a bit of an egg shape works for me. Let's get rid of the polygons on the top and the polygons on the bottom, and the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want to deal with having poles, and by that I mean having more than 4 lines connected, or one point with more than 4 intersections. So we have this is a point right here. Right here it has 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. When you have a sphere, you can have as many as, like, by default, 24 or 36 lines a single point, and I don't want any of those because they don't deform well. So anyways, let's go ahead and get bridge tool. What we're doing is we're going to hit B, and in selection mode, drag back and forth between these two sides, and oops, go ahead and fill in. So just like that. Do it again up here. Line it up because you gotta do it straight. I think it is this one right here to this one. We'll find out very quickly. Whoops. Alrighty. That side's done. We're going to do this side. I don't know what it's going to look like in the end right now, but that's the fun of it. That's what happened with my last character rig. It turned out pretty well. I didn't know what it was going to look like prior though, so we'll see. Let's select the bottom. I selected all lines, but we can hold shift and click on polygons and change that. Hit T, enable soft selection, 100%, and scale it up. Scale it up. Scale it up. Bring it up. Okay. So that looks good. Which way is the front? This is center line right here. So let's go ahead and hit E, soft selection, soft selection. No. Anyways, yeah. We can select right here and right here. Actually, let's go ahead and make this thing symmetrical. So what we want to do first is select the object itself and rotate for 25 degrees, negative 25 degrees. Let's negative 22.5. Yeah, right there. So close enough. And zero out the rotation by selecting the axis modification, where we can just go ahead and to the coordinates and freeze all. Freezing transformations is a good thing when modeling. It's good to stay clear of that. Now we're going to hit A and go into line mode and turn the knife tool to loop and go ahead and cut it 50% mark, or as close as we can get. There we go. Had stuff selected, so it was restricted to the selection. Fix that. Okay, there we go. And now that we have that done, what we do is we go to the top view. That's F changes the view. Let's go ahead and grab the Marquee selection. Turn off, only select visible elements, and turn on tolerance. And get rid of half of it. Let's go to polygon mode. Whoa. Okay, delete half, and then right click eyes. That'll get rid of the points as well. Okay, and now that that's hit the space bar, go back to the selection tool just so you aren't gonna make random loop cuts. And let's grab a symmetry object. And until you get the right mode, I usually use about 0.2 of a tolerance with low poly modeling because it's easier that way, because if you do 0.01, sometimes you have two lines right here, like in this case, and that gets so let's go ahead and just use 0.2 and start modeling this guy. Let's give him some eyes. So we're gonna want to give him a mouth and some eyes, and let's get rid of the grid. So let's give him eyes. Don't want too big of a foreheads. Let's select these polygons right maybe here. See how that would look if the mouth is down here, or we could do the eye here and the mouth down here. I think I'd like to do it right here and right here, or right here. Yeah, we'll do that. And what we do is we hit D and extruder, and we want to just barely get on the inside there and scale in a bit. Maybe not that much. Okay, extrude in again and scale in a bit, and then extrude in again, scale in quite a bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop what we have so far in a hypernerbs. Not too bad. Now the way we have the geometry set up does have some strange geometry going on, and it will show up in the render just a little weird, but right now I'm going to work instead of trying to fix it. And I'm going to turn off hypernerbs for now, set the angle to 44. Alright, and let's go ahead and give him a mouth. So let's try right just a bit, scale in. Whoops, actually, you know what? Let's make sure this is no longer symmetrical, asymmetric, and just make it a normal object. And whoops, select these four, scale them in, and scale down and in. Bring it in, again, same as what we just did. Okay, UI. Just so you know, that's UI, a gross selection. Then we're going to scale up, scale it down a little bit, but scale out and down. And what that gives us is this character. Alright, I think we should hit render and close our film. Alright, just kidding. Let's go ahead and move to the next part. Alright, now that we've got the eyes and the mouth put in, let's work on the next portion, which is, we'll go with the, we can do arms or legs. So let's start with the arms. And again, I want to do a symmetry object. I didn't want to while I was putting the mouth in because there would have been extra ones put in right there and I just didn't want to deal with that. But now that that's done, we can just go ahead and go to the top view. And not having the grid there is going to be a little tricky, but optimize. That's the joys of low poly rendering or modeling. Okay, symmetry, X, Y. Now let's go ahead and grab right here and scale it down, extrude out just a bit, scale down. And as I'm scaling to a 0 by holding shift and going to constraining every 10%, down to 0% on the Z-axis while hitting W, a world axis, so that this is completely straight, and scaling it down a bit. Okay, so we're going to move it over so it's just barely off the edge, and then we're going to push it out a bit. Again, over here, where the elbow is going to start, we're going to give it 3 polygons, or 3 extrusions there. And then again, we're going to scale this. I don't know exactly how this will turn out yet, but we will see. Hopefully we'll like it. Kind of giving them, I guess, palettes for hands. No fingers, just for simplicity in this case. We can add fingers later if we were to. We'll save this file in versions so we can have that option. I like that. It's really, really crazy, so let's go ahead. How it just kind of drops down, but let's go ahead and a good way to do this would be get the move tool, do edge selection, and just double click on this edge and this edge, double click on both to get edge selections, and then just end this edge. Scale them down a bit, say 80%, maybe more. Actually, after we do that, we can add this right here. Okay, just make it nice and even. I want it to look good. And I want it to look good with hypernerbs on. I don't care what it without hypernerbs, because that's not relevant. Okay, I like that. I want to change this a bit as well. Let's go ahead and select all that, scale it up just a bit, and move it out so that he bump on his elbow. That's not enough. So that'll be a little strange, but you know what? It gives him character, so. Makes him unique. So we'll stick with that for now. Let's go ahead and add some legs. We're going to go ahead and once again get the symmetry object, make it editable. And now we're going to go into edge select mode again, hit K, and go to line cut. And we're going to go from this polygon here to this one. Oops, gotta deselect all of our selections. It's did to only selection as default, which is handy something. Not right now. So now that we've cut that, let's go ahead and ways we can do this. Let's just go ahead and do it the easy way by once again making it symmetry object, tolerance selection. Okay, now I've gotten that done. Let's go ahead and drop this under symmetry object again. Yay for free. Now that we can actually control the legs down. Let's grab this guy, move him a bit, and hit D. And let's, before we scale, before we actually extrude, let's move it down just a bit. Just a tiny, tiny bit. Okay, now we push it out and extrude out, scale in just a bit, and give them those little stubs right there. Now give them one more extrude, scale down just a tiny bit, and extrude in. Give them the knees, which give them, as the elbows we gave 3 points, and then feet. We're going to scale in on the Y, or it's actually the Z axis in this particular case, the Y axis of the polygon. So let's go ahead and do that. Whoops. And not too much, just like that. Okay. And let's go ahead and extrude again and rotate a bit and move it down over here until this line about right there, and do it again. This time we're going to scale in the y-axis. Strange, it wasn't the y-axis before. Okay, we're going to scale in what is the y-axis and rotate it, and we can move it just a bit, and then we're going to extrude again and flatten that. And not flatten that, just look at it, see us move it. Okay, extrude again and move it up, and hit T, W, and scale to 0 on the x-axis. Move it up. That's looking good for the feet, and let's move it down. Scale tip down a bit, tip of his feet, and one more, and then let's hit E and do edge select, and select this right here and move it up just a smidgen, so it will this lift right there, and we'll move that back and up some more. Look at it in not that much. There we go. Let's leave it at that. Okay. So, you know what? I like that decision to move it up. I like it as it being flat. So there we go. There's our low poly character. He has really small and normal sized arms. It works though. Let's go ahead and give him some eyes. Something's up here, and I don't know what it is, but we'll go ahead and select these polygons up here and figure it out. Oh, there was an extra polygon, so fixed it. Okay. And we've got it. So let's and start texturing this guy. Actually, let's add a material to him and make this guy blue. Just because I like this color a lot, and it worked for the last one. Let's add some subsurface scattering. It's under texture effects scattering, and go down in here. Dark blue. Really dark blue. Really dark. Okay. 5% reflection, just for now. And path length, let's vary it up a bit. I like that. Create some nice depth. Fast evaluation, advanced. Let's go ahead and give them some more refraction. Be 1.38. And then Fresnel reflectivity, 50%. That works for me. Bump map, noise, and change the noise. Wavy turbulence, 250 on the scale. Let's change it to 5%. That works. At least for now. So that's what we have. Let's go ahead, turn off on OpenGL, see how it works, see how we like. Doesn't really change anything in this case. Okay. So next, let's give him some eyes. Last time I did this, I did planes, and I'd like to do that again because so we could add spheres in there, but I like adding the plane actually. So let's do 30 by 30 for now, and move it out, say 60 by 60 instead. X-axis. Move it up and into the eye socket. Okay. Semi XY. Plane down, inward, into that socket. Okay. Rotate 20 degrees. There we go. And move it out a bit. Rotate some more. We need to add 5 degrees. And push it back in some more. Okay, there we go. And then we will add a verify. And we will center its position. If I can find the tool that I have to do that. Unless I got rid of the tool. There it is. Okay. There it is. Alright. Now move it in. Say 200 centimeters. And set it to 100%. Maybe move it out a bit. Actually, move it in 100 centimeters and set the scale to 100. Just kind of tinker with it until it looks right. And apply texture to the eyes. And we could give him pupils, but in this case, I want to give him eyes that glow. And it might be strange, but he's going to have eyes with a luminance of, say, 200. Can make everything. And if you think your eyes pop, yeah, his eyes pop. Okay, so fun. It's getting slow, so let's turn off hypers. Let's set the editor subdivision to 1 for hypernerbs and just turn it off for now. Symmetry object, we can set it to 12 for the X and Y segments. Let's go ahead and give this guy a render with a physical sky and just see what we have so far. Let's go ahead and set hypernerbs on. There we go. Well, it sure looks strange, but it is slowly coming to a point where something could happen, I guess. And his eyes, having straight white eyes is going to be difficult for his expression, but we have right here these polygons up here. We will be able to move all of these actually. So we're going to rig all into controls, and then when you move his eyes, create his expression. So that'll be fun. Let's add some teeth, and then we will start rig guy. And that will be the next video. So let's go ahead, option, hide all of those teeth. Let's make it 10 by 10 by 10 for now. Scale it up a little bit, say 12. Hit C, make it editable, not editable. Move it around until you get something you like. And then drop it a hypernerbs one-time division. But let's go add some edge loops with the K. Loop, okay. One, oops, we have selections again. Not too close to the edge. Okay, and that is our tooth. So let's name the tooth, place it in hierarchy. Let's name these eyes. So let's get to a point where we can actually drop these all down into their own null object and call it character. And let's make everything visible. And let's grab the tooth and pull it forward. And let's actually set the guy up a bit. Not the guy, the tooth. And position it. Let's get rid of the physical sky. Don't want that right now. Turn off OpenGL. Yeah, my computer does not like OpenGL. Alright, move this guy up about 14 centimeters will work. Alright. Alright, so I've gone ahead and positioned the teeth. Now what I did was I just copied and pasted these and moved them in accordingly. I moved them left and right, scaled them a little bit inward on the x-axis, about 50% I guess, and these outer ones I rotated in 10 degrees. So I decided while I was doing that I would just give them a top row of teeth and make them a little bit like a hillbilly. So we'll have some fun with that. So let's go ahead and give his teeth a material. And make sure his eyes have material that is named. Okay, give each tooth material. Let's make it a little reflective, say 10%. Probably too much, but it'll work for this case. And oh, I hit save. I love that. Always does that. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and create the sky again. Rotate it. And give our character, let's put him on the plane, on the ground plane, and give him something to stand on. Alright, hit render, just to preview him. He looks really weird, but it's a low poly character, and it works. So what we're going to do is call it quits as soon as we're done with the model and happy with it. And then we're going to go ahead and add and rig the guy. So last thing I want to do is go ahead and add some pupils. And we will do that in a moment here. Might want to scale this as well. So let's go ahead and grab the character. Turn off the hyperNURBs. Grab the polygon selection. Grab, the selection tool. Grab the outside of his feet. Just the outside. And hit T. And scale 150%. Actually, let's make it 120%. And scale in 80%. Go to object mode, hyperNURBs. Yeah, I like that. Okay. For quick and dirty feet. And let's go ahead and add a pupil. Let's add a disc. And put it under the eye. Reset the position. Just 0 position. Let's go ahead and put it on the Z-axis. Nope. X. Let's find out, actually. Let's move it forward a bit. Oh, right. Okay. So what was going on is it was being affected by the spherify, which we do want. Just, not yet. So let's set the radius to 20 for now. 10 actually, and 24 rotational segments is more than enough. Let's move it back and move it out just a meter. So, so if it's directly right now, it's directly on this polygon. Let's go and find out which axis it's moving in. Okay. Move it per centimeter. The less you move it, the better. You just want it to be right on top of there. Okay. So now let's go ahead and so this is an eye. Let's set the eye as the white part and the pupil as the dark part. Let's make it 10% and reflective, say 50%, and apply that to the pupil. Call it a pupil. And his teeth are gonna get to me, but you know what? We can do something with them. Let's call this Lowpoly character 02. So, I've changed my mind on the elbows. Let's grab the edge selection on both sides, hit T, scale them in a bit, 60% worked. Scale them up a bit. And if they're in everything else, that works really well actually, but not too much bigger. Alright, so it'll have a little bit of a bump, but at the same time with that right now. And if you wanted, you could go in and just these 3 edges right here and hit T and selected more than just those 3 edges. but you could hit T, zero them out on the y-axis, and then do that with the others, coordinate axis necessary, like the front and the back would be the x-axis, and the bottom would be the y-axis, and on both sides just to zero them out to get rid of the bump, but I'm going to stick with it. So anyways, as so far, and we'll save it right here, and in the next video we're going to rig this guy. So hope you liked it.